Welcome to San Antonio, where the Tigers are once again playing a Crusaders team this season, but not UMHB. The Crusaders of Dallas, their old conference foes. In the circle for the Tigers today is Jordan Arcee, and that is no surprise. She had two impressive outings against TLU last weekend. She's 1-8 on the year with a 5.42 ERA, 2.15 WHIP, 55 innings pitched. She's quickly climbing the ranks to lead the team in innings pitched. I'm Reed Rosales on the Tiger Network, joined by Caleb Reed. And Caleb, we're certain to have a really good series here today, aren't we?
Of course, this is going to be a very crucial game for both teams. Of course, both teams really haven't had the season that they're looking for. Trinity coming into this one at 7-26, and of course Dallas coming in at 5-24. However, 4 of those wins for Trinity have come during conference play. They've really stepped it up. And with these final 6 games coming up here, 3 here at Trinity and 3 on the road, they are definitely going to be looking to step up here. University of Dallas going to be a very good opportunity here for Trinity, hoping to steal a few wins and get out of this 5-game losing funk.
And to start things off for the Crusaders, Emily Luna, the sophomore out of Boerne, Texas, will take her first swings at Jordan Arcee. First pitch of the game, misses for a ball, and that'll start things off here in San Antonio in a game that is starting at 7 o'clock, one of our later series that we're playing. Baseball started an hour earlier than softball, something that doesn't happen too often. Tigers playing Schreiner over on the baseball field. That one's in there for a strike. 1-1 count for Luna, as perhaps the moon will come out during the playing of this game if it goes long enough. The batting lineup for the Crusaders: Emily Luna, Abby Lasley, Maria Hinojosa, Katie Duffy-Ralph, Faith Martin, Jennifer Schmalz, Sarah Hay, Sunny Delthies, Daniela Rosario, and Caitlin Fryman. Caitlin Fryman will be the flex player for the Crew. That one swung on, but fouled off. 2-2 count for Luna. Your defensive alignment for the Tigers. The battery today: Jordan Arcee and Jessie Lloyd. Over at first base, Jordan Williams. Second base, Alexis Saucedo. Peyton Bowser over at third. Marina De La Luna at short. Hayden Del Toro in left. Sydney Watson in center. She will be the flex for the Tigers. And in right field, Carson Lee. So a very recognizable lineup for the Tigers. Been a couple times this year where when Lloyd is behind the dish, Bowser has played over at third. 2-2 count. Arcee's pitch pokes that one foul, as the first at-bat of the game has been a battle to start things off.
The Trinity's coming into this game on a 5-game losing streak. Dallas not doing too much better, 14-game losing streak, and 0-15 in conference play so far this season. Both teams coming off of 3-game sweeps.
And they ring up Luna. She gets frozen by Arcee, and Arcee will collect a strikeout for herself to start off the game. They'll bring up Abby Lasley for the Crew.
Second left fielder, number 14.
Lasley coming into this game having appeared and started in every game for the Crusaders so far, 19 of 19. Leads the team in terms of at-bats and also runs scored. Has been hit by a couple of pitches so far this season, though.
Lasley, 304 batting average. Went 0 for 6 with a strikeout against St. Thomas, as it was another rough outing for the Crew in their senior night series. That one misses inside. 2-0 count to Lasley.
Going over to that senior series, University of Dallas swept in all 3 games in 5-inning games as well. Lost 12-0, 15-3, and 11-0 at their final games at home. Trinity, their last games at home came against TLU, ranked number 3 in the nation at the time, and not really much of a surprise there considering the firepower on that team. Trinity fell in 3. 13-0 shutout in 5 innings for game number 1, 2-8 loss in game number 2, and an 0-9 loss in game number 3. So both teams coming off of some pretty big struggles. Again, not a season that either team really wanted, but they are looking to turn things around here.
That one hit over. De La Luna, the throw is not in time, says the first base umpire. We will have the first runner for the Crew as Lasley beats that one out. De La Luna, the slow grounder, just couldn't get to it in time to get the throw off. Powerful throw. But ultimately, we'll head over to the player that is leading the team in terms of batting average, Maria Hinojosa, hitting .366 on the year. That's good for 17th in the SCAC. First pitch to her, not in there, ball 1. She went 1 for 7 with a strikeout against St. Thomas. As now St. Thomas is receiving votes in the latest NFCA poll. Not often that we see multiple teams in the SCAC receiving votes in a national poll. Been quite a while. Usually it's just TLU completely dominating. But now with St. Thomas moving into Division III, you have seen their growth. It's been exponential, very impressive. That one hit up in the air, and the steal attempt will go awry as Bowser takes that one in. Lasley was sent on a steal over to second, had to scramble back to first. As right now we have a conversation between Coach Martin, it looks like, and the umpires.
Not exactly sure what's going on here.
And I think they're going to call Lasley out for jumping too early. And that's going to end the inning, I'm pretty sure.
They're saying that's 2 outs, but we had the earlier strikeout, we had the pop-up for the out, and then we had the runner called out. Unless
Hinojosa is still up, so I think they're going to call that a dead ball and just call Lasley out for jumping too early.
Interesting. Have not seen that one before.
Swing and a miss. As that is one of the rules in softball, you cannot jump too early. There is no leading off in softball. So Lasley, a little too trigger happy. RC's next pitch. Swing and a miss. That'll end the inning. As RC collects 2 strikeouts as the Crew make a base running error here in the top of the first. We'll head to the bottom of the frame after a quick break on the Tiger Network. We are back in San Antonio in the circle for the Crusaders. Sunnydale Thieves, 2-10 record on the year with a 7.3 ERA, whip of 2.31, 77 innings pitched. Against St. Thomas, she collected a loss in Game 1 and also pitched in Game 3. Better performance in Game 3, but the game was already out of hand at that point. As Mark Governor plays, the leadoff batter for the Tigers. She has been for a while. Jess Lloyd coming up, the reliable leadoff batter for the Tigers, as that one is too low for ball one. And Lloyd entering the series with a .303 batting average, 13 RBI to her name, went 1 for 9 with a strikeout against TLU. As both teams, that one's in their first strike, saw a ranked team or a team receiving votes come into their house and kind of wreck it. So two teams looking for very similar outcomes. It's hard to see Dallas, who is currently at the bottom of the SCAC standings, as that one grounded over to the second baseman, Fryman. Easy out there, as Lloyd is retired. Hayden Del Toro will come up for the Tigers now. But they are winless in conference, and it feels like that they need to win out if they want to have a chance to make the SCAC tournament. But a big problem for them is that their last series is against TLU. So it almost feels inevitable at this point. But we still play the games for a reason. Anything can happen in conference play. And the Crew trying to make a little bit of magic happen. They'll start and trying to do that with the Tigers. And Hayden Del Toro, .296 batting average, 1 for 5 with 2 strikeouts and 2 drawn walks against TLU. 2-0 count now for Del Toro.
So far, over the course of the season, Del Toro leads the team in terms of stolen bases with 7, already starting to climb up there in terms of career numbers for the Tigers, which is very surprising to say for only a freshman, but she has just been absolutely incredible on the base pass so far this season.
And the 3-0 pitch. And that'll be a free pass for Del Toro, as Dawson Debussy trying to work with Del Toro on first. Our alliterative part of the lineup, Del Toro, Debussy, De La Luna. We'll try to get something going here for the Tigers in the bottom of the first, as Del Toro just goes ahead and takes second base there. As Debussy watches that one in the turf for ball 1. Had a lot of rain last night. That one is grounded over to Fryman. Takes the out at first. 2 outs now in the inning, as Debussy is retired. De Luna, the cleanup hitter for the Tigers, will step up to the plate now. .267 average. 3 home runs, as she hit the record breaker last weekend to be on the mountain alone in terms of career home runs. 1 for 7 against TLU. One hit was that home run. That one too low. And good thing we have turf fields now, because if we didn't, we may not be playing these games today, because it was quite the downpour last night.
Clear blue skies right now, but last night could have seen that lightning for miles, and it was pouring. For me personally, I was in CSI, and it was hard to even see the tower with how hard it was raining. So very lucky that we've got this brand new field with a lot of very good drainage, because otherwise I think that both baseball and softball might have had to take a rain check to tomorrow and Sunday.
And with bad weather also being projected for Sunday, hoping to not have any events going on that day. I was eating when we got the flash flood warnings. Ruined my shoes on the way back, but sometimes that's the hand life gives you. Del Toro on third with De La Luna, the cleanup batter, trying to score the first run of the game for the Tigers. She'll hit that one. And Fryman does everything for the Crew as they get out of the first inning. No score here in San Antonio after 1. We will head to the top of the second. Katie Duffy, Ralph, Faith Martin, and Jennifer Schmalls are due up for the Crew. We'll take a break here on the Tiger Network.
3, Katie Duffy-Rose.
In San Antonio, Katie Duffy-Ralph, cleanup hitter for the Crew. Freshman on a team filled with underclassmen. Only 2 upperclassmen on this entire Crusader roster. Only 2. Very young team here in the Dallas Crusaders as she swings through that one for strike 1.
Of the 14 players on this team, 7 of them are freshmen for Dallas, so a whole lot of youth. On one hand, that means that you're going to have a lot of new players, a lot of young, fresh players, but on the other hand, that also brings a lot of inexperience, which Dallas is really struggling with so far this season.
0-2 count for Duffy Ralph. And Dallas looking for their first win. It's been a while since their last one. 14-game losing streak. Last win came against Austin College, which is a conference opponent, but here is kind of the mind-numbing thing. That conference game did not count for conference. They played 4 games against Austin College, the first 3 counting for conference record. They got swept in that conference, in the conference games, but they won the non-conference conference game. Wrap your head around that one. Strikeout there as Duffy Ralph gets retired. Faith Martin try to do a little bit better as the baton is passed to her.
That's going to be strikeout number 3 for RC so far today. Only 1.1 innings pitched and only 1 hit allowed so far. So 1 for 3 on the line, looking very good so far. And we're only just a few minutes and a few batters into this game. So RC looking pretty good to start out so far. Has had some struggles with her consistency, but at the moment appears to be running pretty well.
That one hit up in the air. We'll see if it stays in play. Does not. No fans tried to make a play on that one, as it'll be 1-1 for Martin. Jordan Arce with 44 strikeouts. She has passed Kate Wright, Kyle Shoemaker, and, funnily enough, Emery Betcher on the career strikeouts list. Emery, of course, one of 3 seniors on this Tiger team this year. The Tigers certainly have something special in Jordan Arce. Only a first year, putting up very impressive performances against Texas Lutheran. It'll be a joy to see how her game develops. 2-1 count. That one hit up in the air. De La Luna calling everyone off. She makes the catch. That'll be out number 2. As
Batting third, the right fielder, number 12.
number 12, Jennifer Schmalls for the Crew. As Dallas is looking not to go 1-2-3 again.
Arcee's 3 strikeouts so far today puts her within 1 of her game best record. This season, she set her own record with 4 strikeouts in a single game. That was on March 3rd against Hanover. And just keep in mind, she's doing this on, after starting last game against TLU on the 15th and going 6.1 innings.
2-0 count for Schmalls, who showed bunt there but pulled back as she saw that one was going to be too low for a bunt attempt. Schmalls does have some speed. 11 stolen bases on 13 attempts for the year. That one's in there for a strike. 2-1 count now for Schmalls. Hitting .273 on the year. 2 for 7 with an RBI and a strikeout against St. Thomas. As we see Arce with the windup and pitch. That one is poked foul. That'll be on the Crew dugout as it rolls off. 2-2 count now. Arce versus Schmalls. Schmalls, a sophomore in this lineup. Next pitch on the inside, and they ring up Schmalls. Arcee collects another strikeout as she has been starting off very effective. The Crew go 1, 2, 3 in the inning. As we head to the bottom of the second frame, we'll take a break here on the Tiger Network. Carson Lee, Jordan Williams, Peyton Bowser due up for the Tigers.
Carson Lee.
In San Antonio, Carson Lee will start things off here in the bottom of the second for the Tigers. The 5-hole hitter, the first year out of Flower Mound, Texas, sees the first pitch for a ball. Carson Lee hitting at .321 on the year so far. 2 home runs to her name with 20 RBI. She went 2 for 7 with a strikeout, a walk drawn, and an RBI against TLU. Next pitch. That one misses. 2-0 count. As Thieves out for another inning of work for the Crew. There were many similarities between the last 2 series these teams played. That one hit out into right field. Schmalz collects it as Lee is retired. I'll bring up Jordan Williams, 6-hole hitter for the Tigers. Hitting .295 on the year. 2 home runs, 16 RBI. Went 0 for 6 with 4 strikeouts and a walk drawn against TLU. A series that she definitely wants to forget, as 3 of those strikeouts were in 1 game. She collected a hat trick, the dreaded hat trick. I'm gonna have a better series against the Crew. That one in there for a strike.
Williams, one of the more familiar faces on this Tiger team. She has not only started every game this season, but also has started every single game that she's played. Has not come off the bench once in her career, as that's going to be a swinging strike. But, yeah, very impressive consistency from Williams here, just to stay in the lineup day in, day out since basically game 1.
0-2 count for Williams. Usually patient batter finds herself in a hole. She pokes that one out into left field. That one's going to be foul. Lasley racing over to try and make a play on it, but just too far out there. As the shade is much appreciated out in the outfield there. Usually, when there's no shade, the sun is right in your eyes, but the sun is just low enough for those outfielders and the third baseman, Hinojosa, to not have any troubles with the sun. That one misses. 1-2 count. Step 1 of digging out of a hole for Williams. One-two pitch from Thieves. Fouled off. 1-2 count. It remains that as we start to wrap up SEAC play. This is the Tigers' last home series. They'll be off to Austin College next weekend. And then, if things play out right for the Tigers, that one's fouled off once again. They'll be back here for the SCAC tournament. Be sure to join us on the Tiger Network for that one. It'll be from May 5th through the 7th. 6 teams make it. It's a double elimination tournament. As that one misses, the count evens up 2-2. These facing one of the most patient batters on this lineup in Williams. As Williams puts that one up the middle. That'll be a hit for the Tigers, as Williams will find herself on first base. As Peyton Bowser, the 7-hole hitter for the Tigers, will try her shot against these. Peyton Bowser hitting .256 on the year so far, went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts against TLU. Another Tiger batter trying to have a better day, a better weekend.
Again, you mentioned really struggled in the series against TLU. Held down mainly due to pitching, again, with those 2 strikeouts. Dallas has had some issues with pitching, I think that it's safe to say. Fees, so far this season, leads the team in terms of hits allowed with 149, 150 if you include the earlier hit. And also leads the team in terms of, in terms of hits per 7.
That one hit out into right field. That one's going to get down in the alley. Tigers will have runners on first and second as Luna and Schmalz just let that ball fall in between them. Couldn't get there in time. Jordan Arce
Now batting the pitcher, number 27, Jordan Arce.
working with a runner in scoring position, hitting .235 on the year, 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts against TLU. Once again, another Tiger bat looking for a better day. Arce, a good two-way player, though. Swings through that one, as pitching woes is a way to describe the current state of the Crew's pitching staff. Last in the conference in pitching staff ERA with 8.52. It has certainly been a rough go-around for them, but they have seen tremendous development. Fast pitch into the circle. Fast throwback to the circle from Rosario. Next pitch, that one fouled back.
In addition to being one of Trinity's best pitchers, Arce has been incredible on the base pass so far this season. 6 stolen bases marks her as second on the team. Only been caught stealing once. But on top of that, she is also a great fielder. She can really do everything here for this team. Of course, she's playing in right field here today. Left field.
That one is fouled back. 1 for 2. Christian Novak, head coach for the Dallas Crusaders. Had the pleasure of talking to her, getting to ask her some questions about the team. 1-2 count. Swing and a miss. Arce will strike out there. 2 outs now as Alexa Saucedo,
Now batting at second base,
9-hole hitter for the Tigers,
Alexa Saucedo.
who's batting .220 on the year, 4 RBI, went 1 for 7 with 3 strikeouts against TLU, trying to bring either Williams or Bowser home. But she told me that our pitching staff as a whole have grown the most on our team from Series 1 to now. At the beginning of the season, they were leaving too many pitches on the plate and getting hit more hard than they've ever been hit in their past, and found themselves learning very quickly how to be successful at the collegiate level. It's not just throwing strikes, as Saucedo swings through that one. 0-2 count now for her. But throwing competitive pitches each pitch. They've really excelled in helping us stay in ball games, as our hitting went from being a very elite to being in a bit of a slump in these recent series. But they've held some very good offenses to few runs in the process. And on a young team, it seems like every player is out of the frying pan into the fire at the collegiate level. Coach Novak seeing a lot of good in their development as Saucedo hits that one out into right field. Schmalz ranges over to collect it, and the Tigers will leave runners on second and first, as that ever-developing pitching staff is able to get out of that jam. We head to the 3rd inning. Take a quick break on the Tiger Network. Starting things off for the Crew, Sarah Hay is hitting 280
Player number 21, Sarah
with a
Hay.
home run and 9 RBI. Went 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts and a walk against St. Thomas. The lone senior on this Crusader team is a very interesting story that we'll get into as the series progresses. But for now, we'll see how she tackles RC. Shows bunt, but nothing comes of that one, as it'll be an 0-1 count to start off Sarah Hay.
Sarah Hay out of Hudson, New Hampshire, one of the farthest places that I think that I've seen a player from in these games so far this year. Currently leads the team in terms of on-base percentage with a .443.
That one given right back to RC. She says thank you very much, and easy out there. As another two-way player makes her way to the dish. Sunnydale Thies. Pitcher versus pitcher. Always fun to see that. 1 out in the inning right now. RC's first pitch to Thies. Misses, ball 1. RC ranging around in the circle a little bit. Thies, when it comes to being a batter, is hitting 280. Doesn't get fooled by that one. 2-0 count. 5 RBI to her name. Went 1 for 5 with a strikeout against St. Thomas.
Also got caught stealing once as well. Her lone time getting caught stealing this season.
That one is too far inside. 3-0 count as RC struggling to locate the strike zone against these.
And I mean, location has been a struggle for RC pretty much all season. Leads the team in terms of walks allowed by,
That one misses. These will be on first with a free pass. That'll bring up for the Crew, the 9-hole hitter, Daniela Rosario, hitting .319 on the season. 1 for 7 with 2 strikeouts against St. Thomas.
As was saying, RC leads the team in terms of walks allowed by almost 3 times the amount of second place, which is Bella Gutierrez, who has allowed 23 walks so far this season. But yeah, RC leads the team in terms of strikeouts by almost double, by more than double, but also leads the team in terms of balls, or in terms of walks allowed.
That one is swung and fouled off. We look at that 1-1 count here. Rosario, another freshman on this lineup. By that point, it shouldn't be that surprising. Next pitch. In there for a strike. 1-2 count is what Rosario is working with now. RC trying to bounce back. As RC has had a nice day for herself to start things off. Next pitch. That one's fouled back. Almost a stay alive pitch there.
RC so far as a pitcher through 2 innings has thrown 4 strikeouts. Of course, that walk earlier on and a hit allowed. But off of 35 pitches so far, to only have 2 players get on base is a pretty good indication of how you're doing during the game, especially considering that you've already faced 8 batters so far.
That one's hit out into right field. And Lee's able to get that one in. That one just caught on the hands there. But you see the power of Rosario able to get it out that far.
To the top of the order for the Crusaders.
As we circle back to the top of the order for the Crew. Emily Luna back up to the dish. 0 for 1 today. Struck out looking to start the game off. Now working with Thies on first. She hits that one up the middle. And Saucedo comes in, grabs it. And you see the speed of Saucedo and that Tiger infield. That'll be the end
One left on
of
for
the top
Dallas.
of the third.
In the top of the third.
We go to the bottom of this frame. We'll take a quick break on the Tiger Network. Due up for the Tigers, Jesse Lloyd, Hayden Del Toro, and Dawson Debussy. These still in the circle for the crew, as back at the top of the order for the Tigers, Jess Lloyd coming back, grounded out in her first plate appearance.
Dallas so far today has not made any changes. Of course, Thies in the circle. Rosario behind the plate. Martin at first. Freeman at second. Then we got Duffy Ralph at short. Hinojosa in third. Lasley in left, as that one's going to be
Grounded out. Easy pickings for Fryman, who has been credited with a lot of play today.
Hayden Del Toro.
Lasley in left, Luna in center, and Schmalz rounding it out at the 9 position out in right field.
Hayden Del Toro walked first time up. Looks at that one for a strike. It's about these teams trying to bounce back here, trying to salvage their season. Some scoring updates from the rest of the SCAC. It is the match that everyone's keeping their eyes on. Appeal on that one is no swing. 1-1 count now for Del Toro, as it was a split in Seguin to start things off against the Celts of St. Thomas and the Bulldogs of TLU. Celts taking game 1, 8-3, and the Bulldogs taking game 2, 1-6. 1-2 count now for Del Toro. That one in there for a strike. And over in Sherman, the Pirates of Southwestern leading Austin College 5-4. This pitch too high, evens up the count at 2-2. Mentioned last week in that TLU has never lost a conference series ever since they joined the SCAC, but they have never quite played a skilled team like St. Thomas. As that one poked out into right field, and a little bit of miscommunication there causes Schmalz to drop that one. You saw Fryman and Schmalz. It was kind of in between them, and lack of communication or just close proximity between the players makes a botched play. As Imperial March goes off, Dawson Debussy working with Del Toro on first. I think she recognizes this situation. Same thing that happened the first time she was up. Del Toro will take that base as well.
So that's going to be stolen base number 9 of the season now, off of 11 attempts. Only been caught stealing twice so far this season. And for the freshman, already looking like she's going to have not only a great freshman season, but potentially a great career here. Leading off, so far this season, she's had 56 at-bats, which has resulted in now 16 hits. And of the times that she's gotten on base, 9 of those has resulted in at least 1 stolen base.
And Debussy hits that one up the middle. Del Toro will be sent home. The throw not in time. Debussy heading over to second now. That throw's not in time either. So they trade places, as Debussy will collect an RBI, and the Tigers will be up 1-0 against the Crew here in the bottom of the third. We'll have a pinch runner, I believe.
Debussy going to get RBI number 13 on the season.
Sydney Watson, the pinch runner,
Pinch runner for the Tigers at second base.
relieving Debussy of base running duties.
Sydney Watson, last year, he's only really appeared as a fielder during the games against Texas Lutheran. However, she does have a little bit of speed, has stolen a base so far this season, has also been caught stealing once.
And Marina De La Luna, the cleanup hitter for the Tigers, and the record holder for most career home runs here at Trinity University. It was quite an impressive record-breaking home run, as that one gets away from Rosario, and Watson will head over to third base, as now De La Luna will work with a runner at third. I asked Coach Martin about that record-breaking home run. She said it happened so fast because she absolutely crushed it. It went out faster than it came in. Awesome moment, and I'm happy her mom was in from California to see it. Must be a proud moment for a parent to watch your daughter get a record at the school that they chose to go play at. There's a 1-1 count now for De La Luna. And being able to call that one was cool as well, because I agree, that one was absolutely crushed when she hit it. That one hit out into the alleyway, right around where she hit that home run. De Luna will head over to second, and she will be safe. That'll be a double for De Luna. She will collect an RBI. That'll put her past Brianna Pena and Mandy Chastain on the all-time doubles list, as that will be double number 22 for her. And when we're talking about RBI, she will now tie Rachel Hansen at 11th all-time for Trinity University. Carson Lee, 5-hole hitter, flew out to start off her day.
Next up for the Tigers, the right fielder, number 4, Carson Lee.
As the Tigers now up 2-0 over the Crew. And the threat still up for Thies. De La Luna on second. She has a good amount of speed in her, so a good enough hit could bring her home. Check swing there, goes foul. A 1 count for Carson Lee. These looking to get out of this one, trying to stop the damage. 1 out in the inning, though. Not an easy way to turn 2 here. That one misses. 1-1 count.
Lee, the freshman out of Flower Mound, currently has the best streak for Trinity so far this season, or at least the best current streak in terms of on bases. Has gotten on base at least once in the last 10 games. Flew out earlier on in the game. However, there is still more than enough opportunity here for her to get on base. With this 1-2 count, definitely going to think that she's going to be swinging here.
Next pitch. That one swung on, hit out into right field. Easy pickings over there for Schmalls. De La Luna tags up, goes to third. And Jordan Williams, her junior partner in crime, will try and bring home De La Luna. The junior to junior connection. They are the only 2 juniors in the lineup. We'll see what Williams can do here. There's a little update over on the baseball game. Trinity is up on Schreiner 10-0 in the bottom of the 6th.
Williams with a 295 average here. If she could just poke it somewhere into the outfield, this will bring De La Luna home.
And that one in there for a strike. And the 2-out drill, situational hitting for the Tigers, has been a trouble spot over the course of the season. That one hit over to Fryman, who makes the play over to Martin. That'll end the inning right there for the Tigers. They get in 2. They leave De La Luna stranded on third. Tigers draw first blood here in San Antonio. We'll head to the top of the 4th. We'll take a quick break here on the Tiger Network. Starting things off here in the top of the fourth for the Crusaders, the two-hole hitter, Abby Lasley, the freshman out of Lancaster, California, trying to get something going for her team here. They have one hit on the day, as the Tigers have started off the scoring here in this series. They lead it 2-0. RC out for another inning of work. Lasley 1 for 1 today. She singled in her first plate appearance. She'll look to do more of the same. Maybe a little bit of a bunt shown there, but she pulled away from that one before she even squared up to it. 1-0 count.
Lasley's been on, at bat a lot this season. 68 at bats, well now 69, leading Dallas in that particular regard. Also leads Dallas in terms of runs. Second on the team in terms of hits with 24, with an on-base percentage of .380. So has been a very consistent player, not just getting to the plate, but also in terms of getting on base and doing something with the legs. She leads the team with 11 stolen bases off of 13 attempts. So Trinity needs to make sure to not let her get on base, or she could be dangerous on the base paths.
3-0 pitch misses. That'll be a free pass for Lasley. And there's one of those pitches in there where Lloyd made an incredible stop there to prevent that one from hitting the backboard, even when there was nobody on base. You see how good of a defensive pitcher Lloyd really is. Now for the Crew, Mariah Hinojosa, the freshman out of Katy, Texas, has the bunt attempt, but it goes behind her. RC has a 0-1 count to work with now. Bowser going back over to her position. You see the corners playing in. They are all expecting the bunt to try and advance Lasley. Next pitch from RC. Bunt attempt there. Caught. And we'll see double play turned by the Tigers. Second in the nation in double plays. And that will be another strange double play that they'll collect there. The bunt caught by Lloyd, who immediately threw it over to first base. So they turned 2 there on the bunt attempt. Disastrous for Dallas.
That one was a great play there by Lloyd back behind the plate. That ball had a lot of spin on it. Managed to get it before it hit the ground, or else it could have gone between her legs. But incredible job. And then also an absolute cannon of a throw to be able to get that one over to first in time, able to get that one over to Williams, and stop that from going any farther than that.
Cleanup hitter for the Crew steps on up to the Oche. Number 23, Katie Duffy-Ralph. Swings through that one. And now the Tigers entering to this game. We're tied for second in the nation in turning double plays. They'll be tied for first now with St. Norbert. We'll see if they turn another one here during this series. 0-2 count. That one misses inside. 1-2 count for Duffy-Ralph. RC. Bit fortunate that that double play occurred. could have been a more precarious situation if the Crew were able to get that runner over to second. That one is fouled back. 1-2 count will remain. On deck for the Crew, Faith Martin. Duffy Ruff struck out in her first plate appearance. RC looking for one she likes. Puts that one too far inside. 2-2 count.
Not only does Ralph lead the team in terms of doubles and RBIs, she is very close to first. In fact, third on this team in terms of drawing walks.
Duffy Ralph out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Watches that one go inside. A juiced count for Duffy Ralph. Not too far of a drive from Oklahoma City over to Irving, where Dallas is. University of Dallas, that is. Of course, the city of Dallas is in Dallas, but the University of Dallas is in Irving. But UT Dallas is in Richardson. There's a lot of Dallas colleges in that DFW area.
And SMU is in Dallas, Dallas.
SMU is in Dallas, Dallas.
The only one with Dallas not in the name.
Go figure, right? That one misses. Duffy Ralph draws a walk. Stays patient. Able to get on base. We'll have a little faith in Faith Martin. 0-1 today. Popped up in her first plate appearance. 2 outs on the board. Next pitch from RC. That one lined, and that one gets down. That was weaker than I thought it was, but no trouble for De La Luna, who gets that over to Williams. That'll end the top of the 4th. A weird double play and a stranded Duffy Ralph will end things for the Crew. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Due up for the Tigers, Peyton Bowser, Jordan Arce, and Alexis Saucedo, the bottom of the lineup. We'll take a break on the Tiger Network. Starting things off for the Tigers, Peyton Bowser. These still out there for the Crew. Trying to have a better 4th frame. Surrendered 2 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. See how she does in the bottom of the 4th. Peyton Bowser, 1 for 1 today. Singled her first to plate appearance. Swings through that one. That was a big swing too. Starts things off with a strike.
Bowser, the sophomore, in her first season for Trinity. Pretty good average stats. 256 batting average so far this season, as well as a 686 OPS. Has appeared in 19 games so far this season.
1-1 count for Bowser. That one's in there. For a strike, we advance to the next level, as it's 1-2 now. Bowser doing the classic frame up that the Tigers like to do on 2 strike counts. That one misses. 2-2 now. As a new world is entered with this 2-2 count. That pitch misses. 3-2 count. Bowser has the count juiced.
Bowser so far this season has drawn 7 walks. Also has also been trapped into 9 strikeouts.
That one hit out into right field. 3 fielders over there. But Faith Martin collects it over in shallow right. May have even been foul territory. Can't quite see. Have the dugout in my way a little bit. But either way, Bowser is retired to start things off. Jordan RC, the pitcher, two-way player, 0 for 1, struck out against Thieves. Trying to do better in this pitcher-on-pitcher duel. Lays down a bunt. See if she can beat it out. She cannot. That bunt just didn't die well enough. Or did not deaden the ball well enough. That'll be 2 quick outs as the 9-hole hitter, Alexa Saucedo. Saucy steps up to the plate. 0 for 1 is Saucedo's day so far. Flew out. That one misses. Ball 1.
Saucedo, a perfect split. 9 walks and 9 strikeouts. Has gotten a triple so far this season, one of only 3 Tigers to do so.
That one poked out into right field, but it is foul.
Saucedo's gotten 11 hits so far this year, has scored 14 runs and 50 at-bats.
And though Dallas's pitching staff is last in the conference in terms of ERA, however, the Trinity bats are last in the conference in terms of batting average. So we'll see who can win out here. It's a good opportunity for both teams to step up their game. 1-2 count now for Saucedo. As this is Coach Novak's 3rd season with the Crew. Next pitch. That one misses. Evens up the count, 2-2. 2-2 count with 2 outs. The pitch, that one hit out into center field. Should be a can of corn out there. It is, as Luna collects that one for the 3rd out. We head to the top of the 5th in San Antonio. Tigers still lead it 2-0. See what they do against the due-up players for the Crew, Jennifer Schmalz, Sarah Hay, and Sunnydale Thieves. We'll take a break here on the Tiger Network.
From the University of Dallas, right fielder number 12, Jennifer Schmalz.
Jennifer Schmalz, who is 0 for 1 today, struck out looking in her first plate appearance. Starts things off for the Crew. Jennifer Schmalz, Sarah Hay, Sunnydale Thieves due up. That one's in there for a strike, as RC looks to keep the shutout alive. And just a couple unfortunate plays from the Crew have kept them off the scoreboard. That bunt is laid down, did in pretty well, but Schmal's not fast enough to beat out RC's throw. RC has a very strong arm. That'll be the first out. She plays in left field when she's not in the pitcher circle usually.
Number 21.
So showing off that strong outfielder arm that she has. As now for the Crew, Sarah Hay, the lone senior, trying to lead her young team. 2 points and runs on the board.
In terms of getting on base, Hay is one of the best on this team, tied with Hinojosa for that category with a 4.43.
Grounded over to De La Luna, who misplays it. That'll be Hay getting on due to an error, I believe. De La Luna is going to get a hand on the ball.
Now batting for the Crusaders, the pitcher, number 3, Sunnydale Thies.
As the pitcher, Sunnydale Thies, will have another pitcher-on-pitcher situation. She drew a walk against RC. First time up. Now working with Hay on first. That one's in there for a strike.
It will be marked down as an error by De La Luna. That's going to be the 10th by her this season. Leads the team in that category. So even though she's a great hitter for the Tigers, not been doing so hot in terms of the fielding this season with a lot of mental mistakes.
1-1 count for Thies as the Tigers. Third least errors in the conference. That one is popped up for Saucedo to collect. Hay cannot move. That'll be out number 2 here in the top of the 5th. Tigers also have a pretty good fielding percentage, so even though they've been a bit more mistake prone as of recent, you can usually expect some solid infield play and outfield play for that matter. As the 9-hole hitter for the Crew takes that one for a ball. Daniela Rosario out of League City, Texas.
League City, beautiful city down near Houston. I actually got the privilege to visit there this winter.
That bunt attempt leads to a 1-1 count. Luna on deck for the Crew. As Rosario will try to pass the baton over to her to keep the inning alive. Bunt attempt goes back. 1-2 count for Rosario. And the Crew having struggles past first base. RC's 1-2 pitch. Swung on right to Williams. Steps on first, and that'll be an easy way to end the inning for the Tigers as we head into the bottom of the 5th in San Antonio. Due up for the Tigers. Top of the lineup, Jesse Lloyd, Hayden Del Toro, and Dawson Debussy. We'll see how they work with the top of the lineup after this break on the Tiger Network. New face in the circle for the Crew, Divine Green. The other sole upperclassman, a junior. 0-0 record, 10.5 ERA, 3.5 WHIP, and 2 innings pitched. Her first innings this season have come against St. Thomas in Game 1 and Game 3 of that series. As Jessie Lloyd coming up to Mark Governor, as I believe Green will start things off to Lloyd. Coach Novak telling me that Green having to deal with injury over her career. So it's always good to see a player that may have had to struggle with injury in the past being able to come out here and make an appearance. Puts that one in there for a strike. And I think you may have heard the roar of the dugout on that one. As Green looking for first strikeout on the year. That one misses. 3-1 count for Lloyd. We'll see if head coach Abby Martin of the Trinity Tigers gives the go-ahead.
Lloyd so far this season has been one of the best at drawing walks, 12 so far this year.
Draws another. Lloyd on first for Del Toro, who was 0 for 1 today, to try and advance her.
Lucky number 13 there for Jessie Lloyd, who now ties Carson Lee for the most on the team.
We will have a pinch runner, as I believe that is Angela Baltzel.
At first base, number 2, Angela Baltzel.
The freshman out of Antioch, California, relieving Lloyd of base running duties. As our alliterative 3 will come up now. Hayden Del Toro.
Del Toro again, 4 sacrifice bunts so far this season, as that's going to be a run.
And that will be a stolen base for Baltzel. That throw just not on line. Went out into the outfield.
That's going to be Baltzel's 4th stolen base this season, but as I was saying, Del Toro again has been lightning on the base pass, has stolen 2 bases so far this game, but has also laid down 4 sacrifice bunts so far this year and has gotten 9 stolen bases on the years. That one's going to be down in the dirt.
1-1 count for Del Toro. Working with a runner in scoring position in the form of Baltzel. Baltzel is fast. When she's not on the base paths or pinch running, she is in the infield. And that one's not in there. 2-1 count. As Del Toro trying to make the first year to first year connection, bring in fellow first year Angela Baltzel. That one lined, but not caught by Duffy Ralph. Just a little too hot to handle. And Del Toro will be on first. So that'll bring up Dawson Debussy, who's 1 for 2 on the day so far. Working with Baltzel on second, Del Toro on first. As that one was just hit very hard, and sometimes when you hit a ball hard enough, the fielder just can't handle it. And that one not in there. As Debussy trying to bring in some more runs for her team. Timeout. Followed by Debussy, I believe. 0-1 count. That one, despite the framing attempt by Rosario, will not be called a strike. 1-1 count. But if you're a catcher, you have to frame. You'd be not doing well by your pitchers if you didn't attempt to frame a ball. That one, too low and inside. 2-1 count. 3-0 count. As the umpire shows the signal. That one, too low and inside. Bases are now loaded for the cleanup hitter, Marina de la Luna, who, if you were watching last weekend, you saw her give one a ride. Meeting in the circle by the crew.
The shortstop, number 17, Marina
No
de la
coaches
Luna.
going out there. Marina de la Luna, 1 for 2 on the day. Had a double in the third that brought in a run. It's your job as the cleanup hitter to bring in runs. In an ideal situation, the cleanup hitter comes up with bases loaded, and they are right now. Green, see how she works with De La Luna.
We saw De La Luna get her 3rd home run of the season last weekend. Wouldn't it be amazing if she could get her 4th right here?
And the pitch. Too low. 1-0 count. Tigers, not a home run hitting team in particular, but they do have a grand slam already under their belt. Carson Lee hit a grand slam in the 1st inning against St. Thomas when they went over to Houston to play that series. De Luna gives that one a little bloop hit, and nobody covered third. So Del Toro, who had a very, very late jump over to third, was able to just take it because no one was covering. So Tigers lead at 3-0. De La Luna gets another RBI to her name.
Number 4, Carson Lee.
That was Hinojosa, who turned around. I think that she thought that Green was going to go to third and cover, but then whenever there was nobody there, you could see kind of just that regret of, oops.
And now Carson Lee, who entered the Trinity record books after going 4 for 4 against Centenary, one of the best days a Trinity hitter has ever had. Not many else have accomplished a feat such as that. Grounded, the throw to home will be in time, throw to first and not in time, as the crew play it smart. That one was hit right to Duffy Ralph, who threw it home to Rosario. Tried to turn 2 there, but they get 1 out, but that's a good sign for the crew. You always want that first out. You never want the bases to be loaded with no outs. It's Jordan Williams, another junior for the Tigers, 1 for 2 on the day, trying to bring in some more runs. As De La Luna will pass Rachel Hansen on the all-time RBI list for Trinity, tying Mackenzie Hill. 1-0 count for Williams. Of course, Green trying to avoid the cardinal sin for pitching, that is to walk in a run. Next pitch. That one in there for a strike. Well-placed ball there. Evens the count.
Green, of course, hasn't been too big of an impact. Of course, only got her first 2 games of the season last weekend. However, in that she did only allow 1 walk, did not have a strikeout, and did allow a homer. 6 hits and 5 runs allowed. 3 of those were earned, however. Had a series and so far season ERA of 10.5. So definitely very elevated due to the limited amount of innings and at-bats she has faced.
And that one was in there for a strike. They didn't call a swing strike there. Must have caught the corner. 2-2 count now for Williams. That one was for sure not in the zone. Full count, a juiced count with juiced bases. See what green dials up here. That one, wow, an amazing play and a double play. What an amazing draw up there by the Crew, as that was a very solid defensive play from the infield, as Fryman came in, got the liner, and dove for second base to get the double play. You can't draw it up better than that if you're the Crew. They get out of a very precarious situation there. We'll head over to the next inning, top of the 6th on the Tiger Network. We'll take a break.
Number 4, Dallas.
We have played 5 in San Antonio. On to the 6th. Tigers hold a 3-0 advantage, as we're back at the top of the lineup for the Crew in the form of Emily Luna. 0 for 2 today. As RC still keeping the shutout intact. Fun attempt goes back. And Lloyd really trying to catch that ball there, causing the home plate umpire to try and get out of the way, try not to get hit in the face by the glove. Lloyd has very good reflexes. RC working with an 0-1 count, as that one misses. 1-1 count. Jordan RC, a young pitcher. She fires another one. That one misses. 2-1 count. Tigers maybe lacking that for sure ace, as starting duties have been pretty evened out on this Tiger pitching staff. Last year with Kat Patterson, Tigers worked her well. She pitched 189 innings. That was a school record. And the question of who will take up the mantle of Patterson's place has yet to be seen, as it's been more of a collective effort between the Tiger pitching staff. Full count now for Luna, as we'll see how RC deals with this one. That one's fouled back. Luna has given several good battles for RC today. Lasley on deck. Hinojosa in the hole for the Crew. And a very unique field here in San Antonio. Very big. And not a lot of foul territory space. As a ring up Luna. Once again, 2 strikeouts looking on the day for Luna now. As that RC will collect strikeout number 5 on the day. As Abby Lasley, who's 1 for 1 today, try to do a bit better. Singled in the first, walked in the 4th. That one hit up into center field, and an amazing sliding catch, diving catch, scratch that, for Sydney Watson. Watson came from out of nowhere, having to run a very, very long way to make that web gem.
Number 9, Araya
Absolutely just
Hinojosa.
incredible play there by Watson. She has mainly been a fielder, hasn't been getting a lot of looks at the plate, but as a fielder, she's been incredible so far in
Now,
her limited performances. That's going to be a high foul ball out to the right.
Hinojosa 0 for 2 today. Hit into that weird double play in the 4th, and also has a strikeout to her name. As the Crew bats haven't rattled RC too much yet. That one poked out into right field. That one won't be playable. 0-2 count now. But boy, Watson had to come a very long way to make that play. Just shows how good the Tigers play defensive ball. RC with the 0-2 pitch. That one is inside and high. 1-2 count. RC working with the 1-2 count against Hinojosa. Dangerous bat for the Crew. Fouls that one off. Leading the team in terms of batting average. So to get her out would be an impressive feat, as she gets on base more than a third of the time. 0 for 2 today, so that logic holds. She would get on base. That one hits the turf. That'll even things up. 2-2 now.
After the storms of last night, tonight has been incredibly calm, perfectly clear skies, and not too much wind, so nothing really to be throwing any of these players off their game.
That one gets through the legs of Lloyd, and that is going to be a juiced count, as Hinojosa is showing great patience at the plate. Definitely a player to write home about if you are a Crew fan. Next pitch from RC. That one hit out in to shallow left. And another long run, but Del Toro brings that one in. That'll end the top of the 6th. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. As Peyton Bowser, Jordan RC, and Alexis Saucedo, the bottom of the Tiger lineup, will be due up. And we'll see how the Crew handle them in the bottom of this frame. We'll be back after a break on the Tiger Network. The Tigers are going to start off with a pinch hitter in the form of Lainey Smith. Not too often that the Tigers do something like this. Green is out there for another inning of work for the Crew.
Bottom of the 6th leading off for the Tigers.
Lainey Smith,
Number 16,
233
Lainey
batting
Smith.
average on the year. Last appeared against Centenary, went 0 for 2 in that series. She'll take the first swings against Green. That one misses. 1-0 count to Smith. As we are not only wrapping up SEAC play, but regular season play and softball in general, as the Northwest Conference is already playing their conference tournament this weekend. You think we play a lot of conference games? They play over 30 conference games in their schedule, which is quite a bit more than what we're playing here in the SCAC.
Season's gone by fast.
That one also misses. 2-0 count right now for Smith, turns to a 3-0 count. See if she can draw a walk here against Green. And that one will be a 3-1 count. As Smith trying to work her way on base by any means necessary. Watches that one inside, and a free pass for Lainey Smith. And we are going to see a different bat in place of RC, a player that up to this point, as we have a pinch runner for Lainey Smith, Diamond Elizondo will head over to first base. But Addie Lusk will pinch hit for Jordan RC.
Now batting for the Tigers, number 11, Addie Lusk.
Addie Lusk has not had an at-bat this season. First time we're seeing her. We'll see how she does here. Sure, she is excited to be getting her first swings in an official game this season. We've seen her a couple times in JV games. That one hits the turf before it reaches her, and Elizondo just goes over to second. Can't get much easier than that. Played in 20 games last season. We'll see if how she does in her first plate appearance. Strike there, 1-1 count, evens things up. Elizondo on second, Lusk waiting. Swings through that one, 1-2 count. One-two count. Tigers lead it by 3. Always trying to get more runs on the board. Green's next pitch. Doesn't bode well as Elizondo heads over to third. Rosario just going to keep that one in. And on deck for the Tigers appears to be another pinch hitter.
Lusk, the sophomore, as you mentioned, has not played so far this season. Played in 20 games last season. Had 6 at-bats, so mostly a fielding and pinch hitting / pinch running job for her. 3 career strikeouts. No career hits, but does have 5 career runs. Has not gotten on base, but has been more of a pinch runner in situations like this.
2-2 count for Lusk. That one hit out into center field. And Elizondo tags up. And that throw is not going to be in time. And Lusk will have to add an RBI to her name as she brings in Elizondo on the sacrifice fly out into center field. And we'll see what that one is. I didn't quite catch that, but perhaps Elizondo did not tag up after the catch was made, because she left early. Another victim of leaving early. Elizondo, 2 trigger happy there.
So the run is not going to count. And so also that's going to take away Lusk's first RBI.
2 outs as The pinch hitter for the Tigers, Christina Garcia, 143 on the year so far. An unfortunate mistake by Elizondo. That one's in there for a strike.
With the weather and the summer months starting to come in, we've got a lot more bugs that are starting to get all over the notes flying in through the windows here.
Christina Garcia, one of 3 seniors on this team, their last home series. We'll get into them on the final game, the senior night game. 1-2 count. And once again, another weird double play. They just seem to happen a lot here at TU softball field. That one's too high. 2-2 count. As things even up here.
All twos on that top line in the scoreboard. 2-2 count with 2 outs. And number 1-2 here at the plate.
Pitch from Green. That one to make it down. It does not. A good play by Fryman. Able to end the top of the frame there as we head
No runs, no hits, nobody
to
left for
the
Trinity on
top
bottom
of
the
the
sixth.
7th.
Trinity
The
3,
potential last 3 outs for the Crew if they cannot put up 3 runs. Katie Duffy-Ralph, Faith Martin, and Jennifer Schmalz will try to keep the game alive for the Crew. We'll take a break here on the Tiger Network.
The shortstop, number 23, Katie Duffy-Ralph.
Katie Duffy-Ralph starts things off
Playing second
for
base
the Crew.
Trinity, number 3, Madison
Couple
Horn.
defensive substitutions here. Madison Horn now playing second base, another senior on this Tiger team. There have been a bunch of re-entries as well. RC back in the circle. But it's all just normal softball bureaucracy at this point. 3-0 is the Tiger lead. Duffy-Ralph trying to get something going. Fouls that one back. 0 for 1 today. Did draw a walk in the 4th.
If RC is able to bring down 3 more outs here, not only will she be getting her first shutout of the season, she will also be getting her 2nd complete game of the season, as well, as we're now in the top of the 7th inning with Trinity leading 3-0.
1-0 count, or 1-1 count, my bad. No outs. As RC trying to work Duffy-Ralph. Faith Martin on deck. That one's fouled back. 1-2 count. RC already 5 strikeouts on the day so far. Looking to get a couple more. As she shows how skilled she is at getting people to swing. In just 1 season, she has matched what has taken Emery Betcher a full career here at Trinity to do. That one hit out into center field, hit well, but Sydney Watson able to collect it out there. The Gold Glove of Sydney Watson takes in that one for the first out, as
Batting second at first
the
base,
baton
number
is
10,
passed
Faith Martin.
over to Faith Martin.
You mentioned the career numbers there of RC. RC is a pitcher that relies a lot more on basically just gassing the ball past an opponent, trying to get them to swing with a lot of motion, trying to get them, as that one's popped back behind the press box, trying to get them to swing, trying to blow it right by them. Betcher appears to be a pitcher that is a lot more of a weak contact kind of pitcher, one that kind of tries to keep the ball in the infield. And
That one hits the turf before even reaching the plate. 1-1 count. Spaeth Martin 0 for 2 today. Popped up, grounded out. Trying to work some magic. Watches that one for a strike. 1-2 count now for Martin. Pinch hitter on deck for the Crew, Maddie Murphy. 1-2 count. RC. The pitch. Too high. Even things up. 2-2 count now.
Faith Martin, so far this season, 5 strikeouts, averaging around 0.16 strikeouts per at-bat. So around average on this team.
That one lined over to De La Luna, and they'll say she caught it. Very impressive play there by De La Luna. That'll be the second out of the inning. And the final line of defense for the Crusaders will be Maddie Murphy, as Coach Novak wants an explanation. Not an explanation, she's just making the substitution there. Maddie Murphy, 171 batting average, 4 RBI, went 0 for 4 against St. Thomas. Stands as the final out for the Crusaders potentially.
University of Dallas, number 44, Maddie Murphy.
Trying to pass it over to Sarah Hay if she can.
Murphy so far has appeared in 10 games this season with 8 starts, again a 192 average. 26 at-bats on the year with 5 hits and a double. Has gotten a couple of RBIs so far this year with 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. So definitely very limited production from her so far this season.
The sophomore out of Lakeland, Florida, swung through the first pitch. 0-1 count. RC's next pitch. Fouled back, quickly down, 0-2. As the Crew potentially down to their final strike of the game. Tigers are leading it 3-0. For the game not to end, the Crew need to put up 3, at least. The 0-2 pitch from RC. Not in there, too high, a 1-2 count. Murphy stays patient there.
One more strike would put it away. Only problem is that the third strike is always the hardest one to get.
And for the Tigers, that third out, that third strike have always seemed a bit more difficult this season maybe than in years past. That one is in there, and RC shuts out the Crusaders, as the Tigers are going to take this one 3-0 in a low-scoring affair.
Final score of tonight's game.
Great performance by RC,
And Dallas
ending it off
0.
with the strikeout. 6 strikeouts on the night for RC. She will get the win,
Ladies and gentlemen,
as
Dallas and Trinity
these will
play
be
a
tagged
doubleheader
with the
tomorrow
loss.
to conclude the weekend series.
And
And Trinity will
Caleb,
also
what did you
honor
think of game
its
1?
Tiger seniors
Well,
between games.
whenever
Thank you,
Jordan
ladies and
RC
gentlemen.
is off, she is really off. However, whenever she is on, she is absolutely incredible, as we saw tonight. Again, you mentioned 6 strikeouts, only 3 walks allowed. Did absolutely incredible, keeping the Crusaders from doing much of anything, really. Only 1 hit allowed by Trinity all day long. Of course, those 2 errors did kind of give a bit of issues, but RC was absolutely electric so far today, and that was a really big part of this Trinity victory. Of course, we still got 2 more games tomorrow against Dallas, so we'll see what happens there. But for tonight, absolutely fantastic victory by the Trinity Tigers, and a much-needed one at that.
Much needed indeed. Tigers win this one 3-0. They had 5 hits compared to Dallas's 1. And they left a lot of runners on base, so could have potentially scored more. But join us tomorrow, Saturday at noon, as we have a doubleheader against the Crew. It is sure to be a good one to wrap up this home weekend. We will be honoring the seniors of this team, so you want to be sure to see that. For Caleb Reed, I'm Reed Rosales with the Tiger Network. It's been our absolute pleasure to bring this to you. Be sure to join us tomorrow for the series against Dallas.